Is there ever a benefit where like a high fat diet is beneficial, or like how does that compare to the Nutritarian diet again? If they give them, you said it's under 30% carbs,
Yes.
but if they gave them like 40%, is that a Nutritarian diet?
No, a nutritarian, like the low-fat vegans, the lowest fat vegan diet is like 80-10-10. 80% carbs, 10% fat, and 10% protein.
That's like no carbs or protein. That seems really low to me. Sorry, that's like no
No
fat
fat or
or
protein.
protein.
Yes, if you have no added nuts and no oils, your diet comes out about 8% to 9% fat, which is too low in
That
fat.
seems really low.
It's really low. And my experience over the last 30, 40 years of taking care of patients who are vegans and plant-based eaters, so that those people on those very fat-restricted diets, especially fruitarian diets, where they eat mostly fruit, they start to get signs of immune system suppression and protein deficiency as they age, with more fungal infections, more and more infections, more prone to pneumonia. Like, for example, I've known people on fruitarian diets who develop a higher incidence of pneumonia, because here's what happens as we age: we get weakened, musculoskeletal weakening. We lose muscle mass and we lose bone mass. We have neurosenescence, neurological senescence, meaning that our brain shrinks. And then we have immunosenescence, which means our immune system atrophies. And
I don't want to get old.
as these things happen, we lose our mental power, and we lose our muscle and bone strength, and we lose our immune system strength. And it's the loss of the immune system strength that's then going to kill a person and have an increased risk of cancer or pneumonia. Some elderly people could get neurologic disease too. And and going that low in fat and protein, I'm suggesting, my experience and the medical literature supports this, could accelerate the rate of immunosenescence in later life. And that diet might be fine for a person as their ability to assimilate protein is robust in their middle ages, but as they get to be elderly, you need more protein, but you also need the fats all through the middle age to later age, the right type of fatty acids to protect the brain against the neurological senescence, and that could result in memory loss and depression. So the Nutritarian diet is anticipatory in designing the right omega-3 fatty acid balance, the right degree of fats, and the right degree of protein adequacy to maintain to prevent immunosenescence. That's why we add zinc as a supplement to a plant-based diet, because the amount of zinc in plants and the binding of zinc from the phytates is not the ideal amount to prevent immunosenescence. That's why we add the omega-3 fatty acids, because we want the omega-3 index above 5, because most people on a plant-based diet, even with flax seeds and chia seeds and hemp seeds, still don't get their omega-3 index above, let's say, 5.5. I'm advocating above 5.5 for ideal. And the major change in the scientific literature with regard to omega-3 fatty acid in the last few years is that I presented dozens of studies, 17 studies showing lower omega-3 index associated with brain shrinkage. But now we have more studies showing lower omega-3 index, not just resulting in neurologic senescence, shrinkage of the brain, but also resulting in immunosenescence, that shrinkage of the immune system. So you have less protection from the immune system as we age. And if you're not going to die of cancer or heart attacks, you could still die of pneumonia as a ability to fight off infection in later life decreases.
Yeah.
So we're being anticipatory by eating the right foods to protect the brain as we age. And you got to start that earlier in life than we thought to get the full protection.
And so omega-3 fatty acids, this would be the fat, that dietary we would get from fish. But if you don't eat fish because of all the toxins, it's smart to supplement it. I know that you advocate this.
Right. That's one thing I always advocate. However, it's clear that flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and walnuts have ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, that the body then converts into EPA and DHA, commonly recognized as the long-chain omega-3 fish oils, right? Mm-hmm. It converts it. And people genetically convert differently. And I've met some people and know some people who have omega-3 index of 6 or 7, and they're not taking any fatty acid supplements.
No way.
Because genetically they convert enough. But
yeah.
That's still less than 20%. It's probably closer to 10% of people can convert that effectively. Other people can raise their amount of walnuts and chia, flax seeds. But I'm suggesting that we still need to eat the walnuts and flax seeds and chia seeds to get the ALA favorable, and we need the omega-3, long-chain omega-3 to be favorable for most people.
For sure.
To get in the both balance. The reason is that, like, the Achilles heel of the plant-based diet to lower heart disease risk that takes all the nuts out of the diet is ALA deficiency, which then can increase atrial fibrillation. So I just want to say there's studies that show that, and new studies that show that ALA fatty acid deficiencies increase the risk of the heart to go into a cardiac arrhythmia. One of the reasons why the studies in nuts show protection against heart disease is that's one of the reasons. But also there are studies on omega-3 fatty acids and cardiac arrhythmia, atrial fibrillation, other irregular heartbeats, showing both that too much can cause irregular heartbeat and atrial fibrillation, and too little can cause too much. So too much fish oil can be a negative if you overdose. And some people take huge high doses, like 3 to 4 grams a day. And some plant-based gurus will say, don't supplement with EPA and DHA because, look, they cause atrial fibrillation, cardiac arrhythmia. Because they're pulling a study that used super high dose. And there's just as many studies. So I used and actually discussed this in the End of Heart Disease book that I wrote to show that both extremes are wrong. You have to be in that sweet spot. The sweet spot is between 5 and 9, let's say, in the omega-3 index.
Well, it sounds like a lot of things, not just ALA, you want to be in that sweet spot, which, when we talk about other supplements on the market, you'll see other supplements or diets saying like, we're giving you so much of this, you can't possibly get more, and you always say more is not always better. You want to be in the optimal range. You want to have that sweet spot.
Right. There's too much of certain things and of course, there's even too much plant foods you can eat that it wouldn't be healthy to eat too much of them.